So hi guys, this is Joel Cleaver again from Jim's Group HQ. I'm with Denise Taylor and Peter Duncan. Now, I always read these names. Is it Jim's Cleaning Landsborough in Beerwah, or how do you say it?
It's Jim's Cleaning Landsborough at Beerwah, so it's actually two suburbs.
And is that around an hour and a half north of Brisbane?
Probably about an hour north of Brisbane.
Hour north of Brisbane, nice. Beautiful part of the world, I presume.
Yeah, it is, just on the border of the Sunshine Coast there. So we're situated just inland, probably 15, 20 minutes from the beach inland from virtually Caloundra.
Have you always been from around that area, or?
I'm a Sydney boy, born and bred. Denise
Yep.
is originally from New Zealand, but I've been up here now for about 18, 20 years.
Yeah. Like the lifestyle of the sea?
Yeah. Coming from Sydney and moving up here, I'd never ever go back to Sydney.
That's fair enough. Okay, so you guys started I think I just looked on some stats, so 27th of March 2020, which was obviously right at the start of the whole, COVID sort of thing, or, as it started going. And how did you decide to start a business in that sort of time? Like, what can you tell us what happened around then?
You go.
Well, we've been looking for a business for a long time because we're really hard workers. We always do really well at our jobs, whatever we've done. So we're just like, what can we do? So we jumped online and we just had a look around, and we did look for a while, but it sort of seemed to fit quite well for us, like work for ourselves, do our own hours, and could make the income. But very, very scary decision. But and really COVID, I guess, had started, but it really didn't start until we'd already signed up and all that jazz. And we were the first people to do the video training because we couldn't go to Melbourne. So, but yeah, it's been the best decision ever.
You were.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Well, what were you guys doing prior? I should have asked that before. What were you doing prior?
Many years ago, I ran hotels, so I've always been in customer service industry as such. Then I moved to Queensland, decided to start selling cars. Then I ran some pretty big dealerships up here in used car departments. And then for 2.5 years before I did this, I was running a caravan dealership up here on the coast with 2 or 3 sites. One site in Melbourne, which I went down to once a month. A show team that did 36 shows a year right around the country that I managed as well. So I was working 6-7 days a week non-stop, and I thought there's got to be a better way of life for this.
Sounds like me at the moment. What about you, Denise?
I pretty much come from a retail background, so I used to manage multi stores and things like that. But most previously, I was at Green RV with Pete, and I was a scheduling manager. So basically helping people build their caravans, do the colour selection, all the add-ons and stuff like that. So we were both on pretty good wages. So it was a big, scary move to the unknown. Yeah.
And yeah, I can imagine. Well, how long? Because I know when people do it, after a while they replace their previous income, or obviously go beyond that. Is it somewhere you've done that yet, or is it you're still working towards it?
We did that in the first month.
First month.
Okay. Yeah. we thought we were going to lose money. Like we had actually saved enough money because we did a business plan for ourselves, and we saved enough money to lose money for the first 3 months.
Yeah.
And in the first month we were already replacing what we already had. So, and it was pretty big dollars. So
yeah.
And how did you find the online training? Because you would have been the first. I remember when we put that together at National, we had it was on the fly, and we had live streaming and all this sort of stuff. So how did you find it?
Yeah, we were due to fly down there. I think it was on the Friday afternoon, and Friday.
I think it was Sunday or something.
Sunday.
Yeah.
And Steve, our franchisor, actually said, "Yep, not a worry. Training's still on. Flights are still on. All good to go. And then I think the day before he said, "Oh, look, we're a bit scared of getting you down there and not being able to get you home again. But we're going to try and do it online. Are you happy to do that?" And we went, "Yeah, we'll give that a go. Yeah, not a drama." So it actually worked out good. The training's good online. It still gives you all the great information that you need to know how to look at the gym system and work the gym system and how it all operates. I suppose the only thing it doesn't give you is that personal touch of actually being able to sit with someone, talk to someone, and then obviously some of the questions later that you might be able to raise and talk to other franchisees there. So you kind of felt a little bit in the dark on your own with that. But hey, I suppose you only get out of it what you put into it. We sort of got a hell of a lot out of it, which was really good.
We obviously have with how we were doing. So what made you, so was it just a time thing for yourself, or was it just working so much and you thought, and then what made you decide on Jim's Cleaning as the option for you to do a business?
Yeah, look, we looked at a couple of different options, and my brother's actually got a Jim's Cleaning down in Urunga, down
Okay.
across in New South Wales, and he's been doing that for a few years now. He moved there from Sydney, and but he virtually, as much as I don't like to say, he bought himself a business down there to give himself a lifestyle where he could still earn some good income, spend some time with his kids, and that's why when we're looking around, and the reason we went with Jim's is, the further you looked into it, the better off it was. Like it's the same. You can be as big or as small as you like. Everyone pays the same. Everyone gets the same treatment. The fact that Jim's still in touch with and has the respect of his franchisees, and he always puts the franchisees first, tells you you're within the right business.
Absolutely. You've been able to build a pretty big business already. I think you've 4 staff already, or something you have, or maybe you want to talk about what your business is currently.
Yep. So we've got 3 contractors, and then our son Riley, he works with us as well. He's 19, so he lost his job during COVID. So out of bed, we kicked him out of bed, and off he comes. So he's doing really well, and he started off a little bit slow, but he is as good and as fast as any other cleaner we have. So
are you surprised about how quickly, or how you've been able to build it so quickly and so well?
Yeah, we still like look at each other all the time and go, how did we get here so quick?
Yeah.
Like, how did this happen?
Well, I'm surprised myself, because I remember you tuned onto an Ask Jim and you said you just started in your first couple of weeks, and then there was comments all the time coming. I think it was you, Denise, sorry, kept coming through and saying how you're doing really well. And I was like, this is great, because we had the crisis in Melbourne, obviously, and we're hearing a lot of negative stuff, don't know what to do, whereas you guys are flying up in Queensland. So it was quite a good thing to hit behind.
Guilty. We almost felt really guilty. Like, there's so many leads that we just turn down. Like, we're so chockers. Like, we're on our 88th or 89th day straight, and
Really?
and there's leads in our area that we just can't pick up. Like, and saying that, we did pick up 3 more this week, but
we keep saying to each other, no more, we're full. No more, we're full. But then we say, oh, sure, we can fit that one in somewhere, and then we relook at our schedule again, and we go, right, we can fit that one in there. So a lot of it just comes down, I suppose, a lot of the successes that we both come from a customer service industry. So the customer always comes first. It's the being relatable people to other people. When you go and have a look at, when I have a look at some of our closing ratios and leads we get through, there's not too many we don't miss. Once we go and visit them, quote them, have a chat to them, find out about their life, find out what they want, very rarely will we miss one.
And it's because we want to help them as well. Like, a lot of people actually need it. Like, the reason why they ask for our services because they're too busy. They might have a disability or something like that. So it's really nice to go and clean their house. And like, I just got a message then that just come up, thank you so much, the house looks great. So like, those sorts of comments, like warm fuzzies, like get goosebumps, and it makes you happy. So we're so busy, we actually got our contractor to clean our house today. So
okay, right. There we go.
How funny is that? The cleaner getting told off. Our house was a mess, and I felt so bad. But
Don't worry, you hear that a lot of the mowing guys. A lot of the mowing guys, you think they'd have top, really nice gardens, but a lot of them don't, because they just don't have time to get around to it. So don't worry, I think it's very, very similar. So where's for your business from here? Because you've obviously done it so. And you got if you want work, you got work coming in. Is it just a matter for you guys now, just how you scale your business up, or is it sort of at a level, like what are your plans for your business?
Yeah, look, we ran a couple of different business models. When we first started, we were looking, we thought, oh, we'll chase the bond coins. Let's go to bond coins. That's the way. Go to one location, do your job, go home. And then we worked out that, the bond coins are extremely hard work. They're certainly not hard. And some of the ones you get up here are, animals. So it's hard work. Yeah. So then we just thought, well, and then they're so irregular. You might have one this week, then you might have 5 next week. So then we thought, let's try and build a regular client base while we're doing a couple of these bond cleans. And the regulars just kept coming and coming and coming and coming and coming. And we thought, well, we don't need these bond cleans. We've got enough regulars just to keep ourselves going. So it's either, then we sat down and we said, well, we can either scale up and we can try and find more contractors, which at the moment is extremely hard trying to find anyone to work, especially with the whole job keeper thing and job seeker, like they just don't want to work.
Yeah.
And then we thought, well, we can either scale up and then you get the headaches of all the staff to go with it, or what we can try and do is build up an area, sell a split, build up an area, sell a split, build up an area, sell a split.
Mm.
So that's sort of like the task we're starting to talk with Steve, our franchisor, now about, building up an area, putting a split on the market, and seeing how we go with that way. And then, obviously getting more people up here on the coast in gyms clean, because it just creates such an atmosphere.
Yeah.
Steve was saying they didn't get any leads out here on the western side of the highway for quite some time, and then all of a sudden we've been here for 6 months, and these leads in this area just keep coming. I think it's purely just because our cars running around everywhere at the moment.
Yeah, that's it. The mobile billboard, and the more we have in the area, all franchisees or people out looking, I see all these trailers in the area. There won't be that much work, but it's the opposite effect. It's always creates more work when you've got those driving billboards all the time around.
Yeah,
Exactly.
So we've got the two of our contractors are working for us at the moment. They're looking at buying a split office. They're really not ready to go until probably early next year. So we're going to get them involved with a lot of our regulars for 2 or 3 days a week at the moment, get them looking after them, and then we'll sell that split off to them.
That's great.
Another one out here on the western side of the highway.
And for anyone watching who's outside of gyms, a split's basically when you get customers and you package them up and you can then sell those clients to someone else coming in, right?
Yeah, so they can start up a business and have like a guaranteed client base, which is awesome. Like, we didn't actually know about that when we first started, but it's not that much more money, but you get a really good deal because you got guaranteed clients. But at the same time, we took a couple of people out on the road today that are interested in buying franchise, and they were like, but how do you know there's going to be enough work? I'm like, I'm telling you now, we asked the same thing. There's enough work. Oh my God, there's too much work. She's like, really? And I was like, I promise you.
Absolutely.
There's plenty of work.
Yeah, there's plenty of work. And the splits is something, outside. It's not really well known. It's not something that we really advertise, but the splits is a great thing for yourself as well. You can just do a split every year or however you want to do it. And you never essentially pay fees at all. If you do that, plus you get, profit as well.
And then you don't have to manage staff as well, which can be a big headache. So you build it up, then you sell that off, right? They're your customers, you look after them. So then you don't have to worry about, sick days, holiday pay, super, all that sort of stuff. So they can deal with that themselves.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's the trade-off. You have some people who want to do the business and have the big, crew of workers and stuff, or some who just keep doing the splits and doing splitting all the time.
Yeah, I think it's always good to have a few workers, like, to help you out and all that sort of stuff. Because obviously we need a day off, which we haven't, but we will get there eventually. But,
so it's usually going 7 days a week. We've got
a commercial job with a strawberry farm up here.
Right.
And we clean their packing shed every day. So obviously up here it's been peak strawberry season for the last 2 or 3 months.
Yep.
So we go and clean their packing shed every morning. We rock in there at about 4:30 every morning, and it's 7 days a week. Wow.
It's look, who can complain with having work in this, having so much work as you do in this environment? It's fantastic. It's great to hear, as I said, when you're coming from down here and when you started, you probably think that's the worst time to start a business is during this year. And to hear such a positive story of how well you guys are doing, it's really good. And it's a good testament to yourself. And obviously the decision you made, which is a scary decision. What was the scariest thing? Was it just the info you didn't know, even though you told something, you didn't know to believe it, or what was the hardest thing?
Look, I think the scariest thing was because we both came from very good incomes. Was sort of like, are we going to earn enough money to, pay your mortgage, feed all the kids, live a lifestyle you want, do what you want? That was probably the biggest fear, was can we have enough work to sort of like create enough income? And now we've got too much work that we don't want anymore.
It's a great problem to have. And as you said, like if you do want the problem where you can scale it up, if you wanted to do, let's say 10 or 20 or something, if you ever wanted to do, you could do that, but you know you need the options there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We want to grow. If we're going to grow the business, we'll grow it slow. I've always believed in growing a business slow. If you grow it too fast, usually you grow fast, you'll crash fast.
And how about the training itself? Coming from obviously not in the industry, how did you go with the actual training in person? How did that go?
So sorry, with the training in person.
Yeah. So did you do any training on obviously how do you do a clean and how to use this machine or things like that, or?
Yeah, look, we did a couple of days online out with another franchisee up here before we sort of got in, or once we signed up, we done 2 days with them. I remember Steve, our franchisor, was sort of trying to line up a bond clean for us and said, I can't find a bond clean for you. So we rang him back about, I think it was 3 or 4 days later, and said, don't worry, we found our own. So, all this gear turned up from gyms, all our startup package. We went out to do this bond clean, and I think about an hour in, Denise was in the bathroom crying, saying, "Oh, what have we done? We've got no idea.
Oh, really?
We've got no idea what we're doing here." I said, "It'll be okay. We'll get through it."
We had 10 million polls, all this products and all this stuff, and we're like, what do you even do with this? But yeah, we got through it, and the people got their bond back easy. So it was, we made it happen. We're like, all right, we can do this.
How quick was your transition from, let's say, feeling that way until actually, oh, we really know what we're doing? Like, how quickly did it take you guys? Obviously not that long, but
Probably like a week or two.
Yeah. Once we sort of like got going, and you do a lot of research online, and you have a look, and you see, what does this do? What does that do? How does this work? How does that work? Steve, our franchisor, was brilliant. We could ring him anytime. That first bond clean, I think I rang him about 4 or 5 times. Said, what do I do with this? He sort of ran me through it. My brother was a good help too. Obviously, always he'd been doing it for some time, so. We'd ring him overnight and say, hey, we had this one today, or we've got this coming up tomorrow. How does this work? What's the best way around this? And so just communicating with other people and talking to other people and getting ideas and tips. So it got us up and going pretty quick.
How long was your process from inquiry until actually starting? Was it like a couple of months, or how long did it take you guys?
I think we first contacted Steve, and Steve actually came up here to the Sunshine Coast and saw us on Stray Day.
Yeah.
So that would have been, January, I think, Australia?
Yeah, January 26th, I think.
So January 26th, Steve come up and saw us. We sat down after that, had a quick chat, and then we sort of like said, right, let's get going. How quick can we get going?
Yeah, we're a bit of an impulse couple. Like, if we decide we want to do something, we want to do it, and we want to do it now. Like, we want to buy a spa, we think of that in the morning. All right, we're going to do that. We need it today. So when we decided that we wanted to buy our own business, we found the right one, and we're like, let's go. So I think it was about 6 weeks with all the paperwork and all that.
Yeah, you got to hold the contract. Yeah, that's pretty quick though. That's pretty quick. I think in gyms generally like your 90 days sort of, that sort of time frame. But that's fantastic to hear as well. So with the so for anyone, what I'd love to know myself is cleaning tips, cleaning hacks. A bit more of a customer side now. What's some cleaning advice for people just watching this? What are some tips inside professional tricks?
I can't give them away, Joel. Then people won't want us.
That's true. Well, can you give one away? Can we give one away? I always ask because I've actually had to. I've left my rental property today, so I had to go back again with a mate who's got a carpet cleaner, and we struggled big time. So never again. So
look, the biggest cleaning tip I can give anyone is the white magic sponge.
White magic sponge.
The white magic sponge.
And sugar soap.
Buy it from Kmart, and they'll clean anything off. They're great, and they don't hurt anything. And the other thing that we've discovered is sugar soap spray.
Sugar soap spray, okay.
Sugar soap spray.
Great for wall washing.
Great for wall washing. Kitchen splashbacks with a lot of fat on them and things like that, just peels it straight off. And it doesn't hurt anything. It's all neutral.
And how do you find the work itself? Do you enjoy the work? Like, how do you find, because it's physically fit, or how do you enjoy the work?
I think for about the first month, we came home every night and said something else hurts. Woke up the next morning going, can we actually get out of bed today, because everything hurts.
Yeah.
But like anything, you slowly become accustomed to it. Like any job, you have your good days, you have your bad days. But all in all, we actually love getting up and going and doing it. We have a ball.
And we're both building up a bit of muscles. We often joke about having mopping arms, and we're like, kissing our cannons and stuff like that. So,
that's great.
Yeah, we have heaps of fun together, which is cool.
I've actually had this the second time I've had a franchise doing this. Another one, Rory in Queensland, who was mowing, said exactly the same thing. There's a work fitness for the franchise, whether it be mowing or cleaning or dog wash. There's that work fitness, and you're right. I think it's a similar thing. The first month, people don't underestimate how physically drained you are, and you might be using certain muscles you haven't used a lot in a while, and you get a lot fitter, and but it takes you a while to settle in. Once you settle in, away you go.
Yeah. It's suppose it's like anything. If you start going to the gym, you start lifting weights, and you haven't lifted weights for 6 years, well, it's going to hurt.
Absolutely. Now, is there any good customer stories or something like that you can share? Any experiences that stick out for you so far in your journey?
Oh, there's so many of them. You just need to read all our comments on our star rating. Like,
we will be soon. So just so everyone knows, so we're going to be able to do, I think we call it the best of the best wall, and Jim's got IT basically. So your comments that are submitted by customers, they will be able to see, people will be able to see that online. There'll be pictures and stuff. So that's coming soon. Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, like we've got so many great customers. Like we can't really pick favorite ones, but yeah, we just love going out and helping them all. Like we've got a couple that we clean up in Lake McDonald, which is beautiful, and we just clean their outdoor furniture. That's all we do. We go around and we're there for 2 hours, 3 hours.
2 hours.
And we just clean their outdoor furniture. We look at the view, and it's just lovely.
They're a great couple. They're an older couple. They live right up on the headland of Lake McDonald. Reg's passion's racehorses, so he still breeds some racehorses. When the lead first come through, we're like outdoor furniture. Who wants their outdoor furniture? What? So we went and saw them, went and visited them, and they're great. And Reg is an old businessman too, so he's always interested in how we're going. And but they're a lovely couple. We also do another beach house for them every now and then. And so yeah, I'd probably say they'd probably be our favourite. I've got a lot of time for Reg, and he keeps throwing extra jobs at us, and we just keep doing the same allotted time, and he just goes, "How?"
But that's a great point about the leads. You might look at a lead, you'll have it all the time, and you go, "I don't want to do that" or whatever. But look who you've met. You met some person like that, and you've got all these extra jobs. So you always take those leads. You never know who you meet or what they're going to turn into.
Yeah, and we just get heaps of referrals through our customers as well. So we start off cleaning in Biwa, that's one place, and then the mother. Now we're doing the mother, and it's lots of stories like that. Yeah,
that's fantastic. Now, what's your plan for the next 12 months in your business? You're very motivated. You've always done really well so far, and it's not even your first year of business. Next year will be March for your first year. But
I think our next aim is to do the split. So we'll have we're pretty sure we're going to sell this one. And then we've got enough to make another couple splits already because we've got that many customers. But really, we just want to make sure we've got enough volume for us to keep us going. And then once we've got that excess, then flick another one off and just repeat the process.
And you mentioned Steve before a bit. How is Steve's support going as you're going along? Is the support changed by obviously when you're new, you need to learn different things, but as you're going, you're developing your business. How's he going, helping you doing that?
Yeah, look, it's great. When we first started, Steve would ring us, every week. How you going? Where are you at this week? What have you got planned? Do you need help with anything? Is there any advice I can give? So he's great in that fact. Now it's sort of like he rings and we're busy, and you just ignore. We ignore his call and ring him back later on, and he says, "You ignored my call." I said, "Yeah, because I don't want to talk to you. I'm busy." That's it. And he said, "Well, that's a good thing to be." He said, but yeah, look, Steve's good. Anytime you need some advice or something like that, he's always on the phone. If he doesn't answer his phone straight away, obviously he's busy. He'll always get back to us at least within 12 hours. So, no, he's great.
And he's so good with how we want to go forward as well. So he listens to what we want. So we've sort of changed our plan a couple of times. But when we said about selling the splits, he's like, finally, someone's got it. And we were like, it just took us a while to figure out how we wanted to go. And I think for us, it sounds like a good plan for now.
The comment I heard with splits sometimes is people like their customers and they find it hard to dictate. You know what I mean? That's sometimes the comments against sometimes doing splits, but we know that's...
You can pick and choose which customers that you give away. Obviously, that's not saying that you want to give away the ones you don't like or whatever like that, but it's the area, and you can't really get too personally attached because at the end of the day, it's business. So...
Absolutely, that's a good point. Have you got any sort of advice or any sort of final sort of thoughts or comments about anything with gyms cleaning so far?
Well, if you're looking at getting into one, definitely go for it because it's worth it. Definitely up here in Queensland, like we're booming. There's like we were showing the people that are looking at buying split off us how many leads that have just gone unserviced just in the last 5 days, and they're like, "What?" So there's heaps of work. It's fun. You're fit. You get fit. You can work. Like we pick the kids up every day now from school. We've never ever been able to do that for years and years and years, ever since they were like babies. So that's been one of the best things for me, is being able to pick my kids up from school.
How's your overall happiness? Do you find yourself, obviously, I know it's a silly question. It's a very obvious question for me, but how do you find yourself overall?
Oh, amazing. Like, we're just so happy, aren't we? So just
Yeah.
doing our own thing and doing what we want when we want, which is a lot.
The kids don't like it when we try to put them to bed at 6:30 because we're tired, though.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Even they're a lot happier, you know, because we're a lot calmer than what we were in a high pressure job. You know, especially I was running such a big sales team and everything was always we're always pressure, you always have to meet targets, and you know, the only pressure we've got now is the pressure we put on ourselves, and we probably give ourselves more pressure than anyone could ever give us. But at least it's pressure we put on ourselves. So we cope with that a lot better. So therefore we cope with the kids a lot better.
That's a fantastic comment, Pete. I've never had anyone say that before, but I reckon a lot of people will express it as well, as you just said then, which is, you'd rather put your stress on yourself to build something for yourself and do something for yourself as opposed to this other place. And it just, overall life and stuff's improved. You can just tell from talking to you guys, you're absolutely wrapped with your decision. I'm really glad to hear how well you're doing as well. And who you go for? Who do you follow up there in the rugby? You rugby people, or who do you like?
Well, I like Union.
You like Union? So Australia drew. We drew with the All Blacks for once. We know.
I know.
Which is good.
We'll wait till Sunday.
I think we'll get smashed.
Yeah.
What about you, Peter? What do you follow?
Oh, look, I've worked all my life, Joel. I didn't have time for sport.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
But you'll probably still follow the All Blacks.
But I'd probably still follow the All Blacks because, well, I have to.
Well, it's a smart choice. It's a winning choice. Put it that way. Just like doing the Gins Cleaning franchise. But I'll leave it there because it's just great. You're flying. I don't know if there's anything else you want to let me know. Up to you. But thanks for your time. I just think it's great to have a good story during this time. And I'm sure a lot of Victorians down here be looking at the sun in the face in the backgrounds and thinking, gee whiz, I need to get out of here and go up north. And who knows, you might have a few Melburnians going up into that area with you very soon.
They're all welcome.
Bring them up. The sun's starting to shine. The beer's starting to get cold, and the pool's starting to get even better.
Good sales there. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Peter.
Thank you,
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah,
thank you.
Thanks, Joel.
Cool.
Bye now.
Thanks.